morning, ladies. I'm John Gray, and this is Insight. This is a program about things that you should know. And what that means this time of year, which it's the time of year to vote for people in our communities into the leadership roles of alderman, mayor, sheriff, county road people. All the positions are open for voting right now. And the election day is August the 4th, and let's see, early voting is
Today
starts early voting, and we have the two mayoral candidates for the county, Coffee County, and that is Margaret Cunningham and Judd Matheny. And what they're going to do is they're going to each have about 6 to 8 minutes to talk to you about who they are, why they want to be mayor, and exactly what they're going to try to see accomplished if they win the seat in the next 4 years. So, Margaret, Judd, welcome to both of you. Thank you for coming and being with us. I know this is the political season, the debate season, and y'all have had some radio debates and different things going on in the county. I've heard one thing that makes me very happy, and that's that the two of y'all are acting very civil to one another. And that's an uncommon thing in our society today. Most people, if you disagree with them, they hate you forever. And particularly in city government, I know we have county party politics, and it's been chosen to be that way. In city politics, I make a statement on this show that there is no place for party politics in city government. And I believe that very, very much. But we're in the county race. There's been a primary, and now we're going into the real election. And these two folks are going to try to sell you on why it needs to be them right after this commercial break.
Here at Barkview Senior Living, they're human friendly. That's why I love it here, and so does my senior human. When they want a bite, they get chef-prepared meals, and so do I. Movies in the theater, day trips, walks on the trail, and other senior humans to play with. The grass and the grounds are exquisite. It's everything my human needs to be healthy and active. Parkview Senior Living, for your dog's best friend, you.
If you're looking for a new way to advertise your business, why not let 30,000 cars a day look at your ad on the Dameron Brothers digital billboard on Highway 55? This ad shows 1,440 times per day. There are only 8 ads in the rotation on the billboard. On an 11 by 20 LED billboard, 320 by 640 matrix. Don't be the last one to get your commercial out in a new fashion on the Manchester Highway at the Dameron Brothers digital billboard. To get in touch, go to j@dameronventures.com.
MacArthur Manor Assisted Living is passionate about creating better experiences for our Manchester seniors. Our residents describe us in a few words.
Welcoming.
When you walk through the doors at MacArthur Manor, we'll treat you like family.
Caring.
Through high standards of personalized care, we help residents live life to its fullest.
Engaging.
With a wide range of life-enriching activities, there is something for everyone at MacArthur Manor. With our residents and staff now vaccinated, call us today to schedule your safe and personalized tour.
All right, folks, we're back, and our first candidate to speak to you today is Miss Margaret Cunningham. And Margaret, tell us about who you are a little bit, why you want to be mayor of Coffee County, and what you'd like to accomplish in the next 4 years.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to be able to speak to you today. I'm Margaret Cunningham. I've been a rural county commissioner for 8 years, and as an independent. I ran as an independent 8 years ago against an entrenched incumbent Republican there in the rural area, but he wasn't listening to our constituents, so I ran, and I've been there for 2 different terms, and as an independent, I represent, I feel like all the people, I feel like the parties have kind of abandoned our regular citizenship here, and I'm a centrist basically. I'm in the middle, but I'm conservative centrist. I appreciate our government, but I think our parties have just abandoned us, so that's the main reason I ran as an independent. In my years as being a commissioner for 8 years, I've done many things, but my background, I have a business administration degree from Troy State University. I started my own business down in Alabama before I married my husband, Steve Cunningham, who's a rural farmer and businessman out in the northern District 7 area of the county. And I help him with the farm, so I have that work ethic, that farm work ethic that's really unbeatable. I'm a workaholic, my friends tell me, but that's just who I am. But and then I'm a board member for I'm a founding board member for the Imagination Library and the Anti-Drug Coalition. So I've spent a lot of time helping with those organizations. I really believe in civic duty. I wish we had more of it. I wish it was taught more in the schools actually than is being taught now. But as far as the civic duty and doing my job as a commissioner, it's been very important to be in the government and see how it works. People really don't understand how government works, city, state, county, but really as a county mayor, you're mainly managing county business. And I've been involved with all the committees, I've been on the standing committees there. I'm chairman of the Water Wastewater Authority. I've been very involved, and before that, at 7 years, I worked in the county mayor's office as a project manager for 2 different mayors. And so I have the real experience that does count as far as running county government. And I've been very involved in, certainly in the agendas of the county, which because of our ARP money that's been granted down, it was granted to every county, every school system, every city. It's amazing how much money has been spent by the federal government, but our money, we've used it very wisely, and we've leveraged the money. We've got broadband going in to the county areas where it's so beneficial, where there's many places out in the county that don't have broadband. It's so important for students who have been confined to home due to COVID, and so we're very anxious about getting that started. I've been passionate about water lines. We have people in this county who are hauling water. It's so hard to believe in this day and age, but we have funds set apart to install water lines, and we need to get that finished up. Unfortunately, because of the high cost of housing and materials and things, we've had to slow down on that, but we're trying to urge the utilities to get back to that and get water lines to all the rural areas that don't have potable water and can't depend on well water. The other thing, animal control, that's a hot issue for whatever reason right now, but I've been working on that seems like my entire life, but certainly that last 8 years that I've been a commissioner. We have very dilapidated building in Manchester that we share with the city of Manchester, but we haven't been able to repair. We can't have volunteers in there. There's just been a lot of negatives about where that facility is. The employees are not working in good working conditions. It's just a thing that we really need a new animal control facility, and I'm sure my opponent and I both agree on that. It needs to be done, and so hopefully we're going to make that happen here in the next year for sure. And have a new building that will be more positive and accessible to the public for care of the animals. Because as the population grows, we've got more people getting dogs, and unfortunately, COVID brought on a time when people went and got animals, but now that people are back to work, all the animal facilities are being booked up and overflowing, and so it's really a sad time for stray animals. And we need a good education process to spay and neuter. That's the main thing we need here, is that people need to understand to spay and neuter their animals. So that's all a part of the animal control issues that's very important to me that I want to see happen. The Tennessee College of Applied Technology is a campus that I sponsored a resolution 8 years ago when I came in to establish a site at the Joint Industrial Park between Tullahoma and Manchester. So we granted several acres out there for that. People kind of dropped the ball on that, but we've picked it back up again, and we've got great communication with the state to coordinate not only a new campus, but to have new training programs, because we need good training programs for our youth. Training programs that when they get out of high school, they're already ingrained into that Tennessee College of Applied Technology program, to where when they get out of that, they can get a $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 job without a college education, just by good training through the TCAP program. So I'm very anxious to get that campus going, but we do have a building now that we're utilizing to do that even training now, and coordinating with the schools and having the training like that. So those are my main goals there for the county. Also, we need internally, we have several issues that need to be addressed. One of them is certainly the pay scale for employees. As an employee, 8 years ago, we had problems with when we would get our paycheck, we would even have to hold it because we didn't have the money in the bank. Fortunately, the commissioners have done a great job of building up a fund balance for that not to be a problem now. But the employee pay is a huge issue that we need to get in front of and get that applicable to comparable pay in other areas. And so that's one of my main goals as soon as I get into office, is to make sure we get a system in works that everybody's on board with. We have elected officials who kind of take their own course on that, and versus the department heads. I hope to have good communication where everybody can get on the same song sheet with that. So I want to be positive about that, and hopes that our employee pay, because bringing employees in where you're paying them more than someone that's been there 20 years is just not a good thing, but it's created terrible morale problems. And so I want to try to, address that. But I have a lot of experience there. I have a great passion for the county. I love this county. People move here because of its rural nature. I want to maintain that while we can have controlled growth going forward, because this county is growing tremendously. But it's very important that we have the infrastructure to handle that. And I want to be on the front row of that. But it's important that because people are moving here because of our rural nature. So we want to keep that, and zoning to protect that as we've got now is very important to maintain. But I appreciate your attention to this, and I appreciate your support. I appreciate Channel 6 giving us the opportunity to come here today, and thank you so much for listening to me, and I sure would appreciate your vote. It's early voting now, so you can get out and vote until the 30th, but General Election Day is August the 4th, and my birthday's the day before, so it'd be a great birthday present if you'd vote for me, and thank you very much.
All right, Margaret, thank you so much, and very well done, dear.
Thank you.
Very well done. What we'll do right now is take a quick commercial break and be back with Judd Matheny.
Parkview Senior Living, active, independent senior living at its finest.
We teach Parkinson's patients how to move big and not let the Parkinson's slow them down. I've had patients I've treated in-house that could not even stand up, could not roll over in the bed. left the facility walking with a walker, have come back to us in outpatient and continued their big program, and are now completely, handling life. The success of the program is just phenomenal.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
All right, folks, we're back with Insight, a show about things you need to know. It's election time, and you need to know who you want to vote for. So what we're doing here on Channel 6 on Spectrum Charter 193 is give you an option by knowing who the candidates are. Our next person to speak right now is Judd Matheny, and he is a candidate for Coffee County Mayor. And Judd, welcome to the show again. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Judd and I go back a long way, even back into trying to get somebody to pick some yodel some music years ago.
Early 90s, yes.
Yeah, and but he's been involved in politics along the line, and he is going to give you the same thing. Why? Why you want to be it? Why you back involved? Number two, if you win the thing, what are you going to do?
Yep.
What are you going to sell yourself? What are you going to make happen in your 4 years as Coffee County Mayor?
I understand. And when most of you know me as your former state representative. I spent 16 years representing in the General Assembly, and at the end of that, I needed a collective exhale, and I went to work managing a private company that had offices in McMinnville and Manchester, and did that for almost 4 years. But about a year ago, I started getting that itch again, and I heard that our current county mayor was going to be retiring, and it was going to be an open seat. And I saw a lot of the growth that was headed our way and the opportunities that were headed our way. And I still realized I kept in constant touch with my political friends, both on the state and the federal level. I know so many people in Manchester and Tullahoma. I was raised here. Manchester practically adopted me 20 years ago during the legislative process. And I've just been able to keep in touch with the mayors of both towns and department heads of both towns and the county government as a whole, and worked very closely with the county governments as state representative over the years. And I learned a lot about county government. Most people will know that a county is a subdivision of a state. So the laws that this county itself lives under, laws, rules, et cetera, are promulgated by the state. And so I sat on all the committees that looked at these rules, and they updated the rules and the laws that we live by, and gave me a very good education about local government. And also my experience in Nashville and working here locally with leaders and doing all kinds of projects, from capital projects to building things like Margaret was talking about, the TCAP building interstates and highways through our counties and our towns. Got vast experience doing those things. Also industrial recruitment and job recruitment, and just so many things that I learned over the years in the General Assembly. I thought those things are still so relevant and so fresh in my mind, and I need to use those, and I had a burning desire to use those. So I decided to get back in, and I felt a very warm welcome as I did, and just started mobilizing last September of last year, and officially announced in October, and have been working hard at it ever since. And I look forward to hopefully being able to start as the county mayor here in about 6 weeks. It'll start around 1st of September. And so that's kind of how I got to where I am right now, John. And as far as my background, many of you may know I was a graduate here in Tullahoma High School, and I hold double majors in political science and criminal justice. I went to Cookeville and went to school, and then MTSU. I also have had several businesses here. I've had several large businesses in Nashville. I used to do the security at Adelphia Coliseum and Gaylord Entertainment Center and some other big venues. And you mentioned the concert business, John. That's kind of how I got started in the concert business, by helping you and Stan Allen and some others here promote songs. And it's just been a great journey. But also interwoven with those experiences, I was a police officer for 11 years. I was in the military for 8 years. And that, with my government experience and my ability to take people and ideas and make things happen, I think I'm the best candidate for this job. And so with my experience with those qualifications, with my formal education, and my ability to adapt and learn to new situations that may arise, I think I am going to be the best candidate for this job, and appreciate an opportunity to serve. Now, things that we have coming our way in the next 4 years are absolutely incredible. Coffee County is sitting in a very unique position that maybe no county ever gets. We could sort of say we've had it twice now in our history, once with the Air Force Base coming and actually materializing here. The next one is a potential mega site in the center of the county, just north of Manchester. For those of you that don't know, a mega site is a 850 to 1,200 acre facility that the state works in conjunction, literally hand in hand, with local governments to prepare for a major industrial site. Volkswagen located on a mega site, Nissan locates on mega sites, the new Ford Motor Company in West Tennessee locates on a mega site. These are jobs, these are locations that create thousands of very well-paying jobs, and then the spin-off jobs they create are extraordinary. Roughly for every 2 manufacturing jobs that we can create in this county, we'll create 1 to 2 in retail also. And then in education and hotel, motel, there's so many other spin-offs for those jobs. And the state is very interested in helping us develop a mega site here. They've been down here several times. They've identified the land. They actually have it under contract, not necessarily to buy it yet, but they have an option on it. They have invested over $100,000 in feasibility studies and some very small amounts of physical infrastructure, mostly just a gate and some riprap. But I think it's ours to lose if we combine our talents with both cities, Manchester and Tullahoma, and the county, and pursue this in earnest with the federal government once the new administration takes place in September on the county level. It would just be an extraordinary opportunity for so many people to create so much wealth for their families and for this county, and keep the 6,000 or 8,000 people that we have a day that are traveling to Nashville or Murfreesboro or McMinnville or Huntsville to work, keep them here in Coffee County. So we do have the labor force that can do that. And I've helped build 5 of these mega sites in the Tennessee General Assembly, sat on committees as they came through, had the hearings, voted on the budgets for these things, made many, many site visits, had many, many meetings with the corporate heads. The state invests $500 to $1 billion to $1.5 billion in each mega site, so it's a huge opportunity for us. And the state does not expect Tullahoma or Manchester or the rural county to foot these bills. The state will come in here and provide this infrastructure for us for these facilities. They're just going to want to know that we have the commitment to scale up our services and to meet the needs of the population that these things are going to bring in. And those should be funded through normal means like sales tax dollars and pass-through taxes that come from the state, and also increased values in property taxes. So we have to manage that part and make sure that we have what we need in place to manage that. Case in point is Manchester and their sewer plant. They have grown so fast. Everybody has a lot of housing right now. Tullahoma has several hundred, the county has several hundred new housing starts, but Manchester has about 3,000 new housing starts going on right now in that city and in the urban growth boundary. And it's going to be an incredibly different place in a decade. And every year it's going to be remarkably different. And the core infrastructure, like the delivery of water and wastewater, and being able to provide electric grid, being able to make sure we have broadband out there in north end of the county, and also towards Hillsborough, where we're seeing incredible growth. We're going to have to make sure that we're laying the groundwork for that. Also, the county has a dire need for additional ambulances to be on the road. A county our size should have 5 fully staffed ambulances at all time. In an emergency, 3 or 4. On average now, we're lucky to have 3. On average, we have 2 or 1. Anybody that's ever driven between Manchester and Tullahoma and seen an ambulance that's parked on the side of the road on Highway 55, you know that that's the only ambulance in the county right now that's ready to go. We have underpaid our EMS individuals. The county commission has worked here recently substantially to try to increase their pay, and it has gotten us out of the bottom tier of the 6 or 7 counties around us. We got to still work through that. As this new growth comes to the north end of our county and areas like Hillsborough, we're going to have to work with planning and zoning committees. We're going to have to work with state and federal officials to make sure that our growth is predictable, it's planned, that we have the infrastructure in place, and we can afford the infrastructure in place that these towns and cities that these new additions to towns and cities are going to need. That includes law enforcement, potentially full-time firefighters in the county at some point for a mega site. So there's an extraordinary amount of things coming our way. So we have to deal with that and wrestle that to the ground. And at the same time, we have to strike a balance with the reason we all decided to live here. This is a beautiful place. You know, we have 3 lakes and 2 rivers right here. Many people travel many hours to get to an area like Coffee County. Beautiful rural farmlands, beautiful hillsides. We want to preserve and protect all those things. We want to make it still as rural and agrarian as we can, where we can. But at the same time, we have to strike that balance for the new things that are coming our way, because it will eat our lunch and run right through us, and we'll do nothing but play catch up for 20 years if we don't get ahead of it now. So I want to be your guy to do that and put the committees and the people in place, bring the cities together, and make these things happen.
All right.
Thanks, John.
So what we're going to do right now, folks, is take a quick commercial break, and we will come back. I'll have a couple of things to say, and each one of our candidates will have a camera that they can look at and look straight at you and tell you why you need to vote for them. We'll be right back.
MacArthur Manor Assisted Living is passionate about creating better experiences for our Manchester seniors. Our residents describe us in a few words.
Welcoming.
When you walk through the doors at MacArthur Manor, we'll treat you like family.
Caring.
Through high standards of personalized care, we help residents live life to its fullest.
Engaging.
With a wide range of life-enriching activities, there is something for everyone at MacArthur Manor. With our residents and staff now vaccinated, call us today to schedule your safe and personalized tour.
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
All right, so what we're going to do right now is let our candidates give you about 45 seconds or so about why you should vote for them, and we'll start off this time with Judd.
Okay, thank you.
And there's your camera.
All right, folks, today is July 15th. When I'm recording this, you're probably going to see it a few days later. Early voting is well underway. CD stamps here in Tullahoma, CCAP, the County Administrative Plaza building in Manchester. Also, you can vote early every day except Sunday, and election day is August 4th. Early voting ends July 30th. Judd Matheny would like to have your vote, needs your vote for county mayor for Coffee County, and hope to see you at the polling places very soon. John, thank you very much for the show.
You're welcome.
And Margaret, thank you very much for the contest with me and for appearing in these shows with me and for what you've done for us.
And Miss Margaret?
I'm Margaret Cunningham, and I want to be your county mayor because I have a passion for our community. I have a vision for our community, and I have the best experience because I've been actually involved in the day-to-day efforts of county government for 15 years. I'm smart, I'm an independent, but I'm not a politician, so if you're looking for that, I'm probably not your right candidate, but I am the person who can take care of things and get things done. I appreciate my opponent being civil, and I appreciate this opportunity also to be on today, and I'd really appreciate your vote for Margaret Cunningham because I am your best candidate for county mayor.
Okay, folks, and what I want to say is to them, this is a challenge I give to both of them. One of you is going to win, but the only way the county wins is if both of you still stay in the game.
Well, sure, there's too much.
Okay?
There's too much.
Because both of you have too much to give for one of you to walk away and not still be involved.
Amen.
Okay? And we appreciate you being with us today. And you folks out there, you don't have a chance to complain in my book unless you go vote. Find a way to get to the polls. This is John Gray. This is Insight. Hopefully we brought you some clarity into something you needed to know. We'll see you next time.